all familiar with the story, correct? Famous story. Has anyone got any questions on the story?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, okay, Talia, yeah.
In Pasuk Yud, it kind of just repeats about the famine twice.
Correct,
Kind of
okay.
unnecessary. And then in also Pasuk Tet Vav, it doesn't say Sarah, it says the woman.
Okay. That's what's bothering you. Is that your problem with those two things?
I haven't read all of it yet.
Okay, is anybody going, okay, I agree that those things was disturbing. I don't know, we lose sleep over them. Yeah.
How did that Paro immediately assume then was that the fact that he took Sarah? How did Paro immediately assume that the plague was due to the fact that he had taken Sarah? How did he know?
Good question. Yeah.
Also, Hashem told Abraham to go to Eretz Canaan, the specific place, and then he just leaves because there's a famine in the land.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be pretty strange, correct?
Yeah.
You want to add on to your question? Maybe strengthen the question.
What?
Maybe strengthen the question.
Okay.
From what Hashem said to Abraham in the beginning of Parashat Shavua. What did Hashem promise Abraham in the beginning of
Hashem
Parashat
promised him that if he goes now, he'll give the land to his future generation.
And what else?
Zaraka.
What else?
He promises him. Oh, doesn't he promise him a great nation?
Correct.
Yeah. I'm just like.
And wealth.
Why does Hashem call it that?
So with this request or order, and as well as with all the things that come with it, why would Abraham just go to Egypt?
Correct. In other words, what Ben is asking, you got to asking Goldie. In other words, Hashem said to Abraham in the beginning of Parashat Shavua, Hashem promises Abraham to go, he told him to go to Israel, and if you go to Israel, I'm going to bless you, I'm going to guarantee you all of these great things. Like Rashi points out, since traveling and immigration usually causes certain difficulties, Hashem guarantees Abraham in the beginning of Parashat Shavua, everything will be okay. The future is made out for you. So Ben is asking, after all of that, why does Abraham Avinu leave Eretz Canaan when there's a famine? Yeah.
Why did Paro get punished if he
Okay, excellent question. I'll answer that briefly because the Gemara Masechet Machot answers that question, and it says that when strangers come to your country, you should ask them if they're hungry, if they're thirsty, can you help them find a place to stay. You shouldn't ask people about the nature of the relationships with the women that come with them. And therefore, basically, what the Gemara is saying is that Abimelech wasn't innocent. Okay, he was basically looking for. You find what you look for, and he was looking for that. You understand what I'm saying? It's a long discussion, but basically, you're right. He also has a claim up there, but that's what the Gemara says that. A person's behavior, he misbehaved completely. You shouldn't be involved in that type of thing when you're inviting guests. Yeah.
What happened to all the other people if there was a famine in the land? Why is only Abraham and Sarah leaving?
Oh, excellent question, okay?
What was
Excellent
the question?
okay? What about all the other people in Eretz Canaan? You understand? What about all the other people in Eretz Canaan? What did they do about the famine? Okay? Was there mass migration from Eretz Canaan? I mean, the truth is it could have been. Could have been. Okay. Good question. Yeah. I haven't heard the most urgent question. Yeah.
If there's a famine in the land, is it possible that Abraham did something wrong that didn't merit the blessings?
It could be, but then we have to ask what, okay? Yeah, it could be, but then we have to find maybe some type of indication in the Pasuk as to what. Okay, I told you. Yeah.
Why Egypt?
Why Egypt? Okay, that's a good question. Anybody going to answer that question?
Egypt's close.
Yeah, but there's a famine in the land.
And they're
Hey? Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind, the truth is the first thing that comes to mind is why Egypt? So like Rotem said, is because what story comes to mind when you think of the famine in the land went down to Egypt? What comes to mind? Comes to mind the story of Yosef, correct? And Paro and the whole what happened at the innocent of Rishi. That's what comes to mind. However, why does that actually pose a difficulty? Why is that actually not a solution to explain why he went down to Mitzrayim?
because Hashem in this situation told Abraham to go to Canaan.
No, not only
Yosef
that.
was
No,
sold in Yosef.
no, not only that.
In the story of Yosef, he only went down to Egypt because Hashem.
No, I'm talking about when there was a famine, they went down to Egypt to get food.
Oh, because not everyone else went to Egypt with Yosef. It was just
No,
Yosef.
not only that. I'm just talking about the story about the famine. The famine, there's no food.
Yosef collected food for the 7 years before.
Correct. That is what happened in Mitzrayim. The reason why they went to Mitzrayim for food was because in Mitzrayim there was food. Why was there food in
They were
Mitzrayim?
prepared.
Because Yosef warned them about the drought and they collected the produce for 7 years. Correct? And therefore they had food. And therefore I would actually suggest that it actually, in that context, it's strange to understand why Avraham Avinu would go down to Mitzrayim to get food, because we don't know that there was food in Mitzrayim. You understand? Seems to be, I mean, obviously you could say that maybe there was, but I'm just saying based on the story of we know what happens afterwards, if there's a famine in Eretz Canaan, there's usually also a famine in Mitzrayim. The only reason why they went there last time for food was because there happened to be food there. But what's... we're not sure that there was food here, okay? Yeah.
Is that the question you were looking for?
No, there's a question that all the mefarshim, not all, a lot of the mefarshim go berserk about in this Parsha.
I have one. In Pasuk Yod, it says, "Vayihi Rav Ba'aretz, Vayired Abraham Mitzrayim Al Shan Kiti Harav Ba'aretz." So it says, first of all, it says Vayired, which is singular. So what we know Sarah goes with him. So shouldn't it be Vayired too?
What?
In Pasuk Yod, it says, "Vayihi Rav Ba'aretz, Vayired Abraham Mitzrayim Al Shan Kiti Harav Ba'aretz." So shouldn't it say Vayired too? Abraham this Sarai.
No, it says Dafka Lagur. Oh, you're talking about, why doesn't it talk about Sarah?
Yeah, because they both.
No, well, we know from the next passage that Sarah went with.
So
Okay?
shouldn't it say?
No, Abraham is like this. Abraham and his family, Abraham and his wife, okay? We'll not say evidence from it. That's not the urgent passage.
It's not
Yeah.
the Ikar.
Could it not be selfish that Abraham's requesting Sarah to pretend to be his sister because there's no guarantee of her protection, and it's almost as if he's saying, I don't want to be killed, so you must sacrifice for me.
Okay. In other words, so what's the question?
Why is he sacrificing Sarah?
In other words, the question is, how on earth does Abraham do to Sarah what he does? That is the most troubling thing in the Parsha. What happens? Okay, but let's just imagine. Abraham and Sarah are traveling. They're going to Eretz Canaan because of the Rav, correct? Now they get to Eretz Canaan, and all of a sudden Abraham says to Sarah, he says, "Vayomer Sarah Ishto, hinena yadati ki isha yafat mareat." I see you beautiful. And therefore, listen to this, "Vayehi, vayaya ki alu otach hamitzim, v'amnu ishto zot, v'algot nivotach yechayu." And when they see you, when the Mitzim see you, how beautiful you are, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Take you.
They're going to kill me and take you because you're so beautiful. Okay? And therefore, what is the solution to the problem? What is my solution? Okay? My solution is, say that you're my sister. Okay? Say that you're my sister. What's the man yitavli ba'avurech? That in order for good to come to me because of you, and I will survive because of you. Because you basically are, this plan is basically the key to survival, to our survival. Right? So what is Abraham's plan to survive? What is his plan to survive? To sacrifice Sarah's morality, correct, in order for him to survive. Not only for him to survive, but Rashi says, what does it mean, the man yitavli ba'avorech? What's the man yitavli ba'avorech? It says Rashi says, the man yitavli, yitnuli matanot. What's yitnuli matanot? They'll give me gifts. They'll give me gifts if they think that you are my sister. And what is the question? I'd like you to look on the page that I gave you. Okay, I'm surprised that this wasn't the first question that you all should have asked. Okay? Can you imagine? You're walking, let's say you're walking with your husband, you get to a very you get to a bit of a difficult area in town which you're not familiar with, and all of a sudden you realize you took the wrong turn into a bad spot. Okay? By the way, what should you do if that happens? What happens? I would turn around and run for my life, correct? That's what I would do. And I'll grab onto my wife's hand and make sure she comes with me very quickly, correct? That's what I would do. What does Abraham do? What does he do? He says, you know what? Let's see what happens. I'll play brother, and you know what? You play sister, and they'll take you, and let's see what happens. What did you think was going to happen? Okay? So let's have a look at the
Also, even Paro was like, why did you even do that?
Correct. We're going to get to that and see that.
That's so messed up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. I'm reading on the page and I just handed out. It says at the top, "Iyun b'ma'asav ha'tmuim shel Avraham Avinu." Okay. We had to look into the some strange episodes and behaviors of Avraham Avinu. Okay. I'm reading the Abarbanel. The Abarbanel says the following thing. Listen to his language. Listen to his language. Hashela Yud. Question number 12. מה ראה אברהם אחרי שהלך אל ארץ כנען כאשר דיבר אותו אלוהים? Okay, that's your question. He says, what did Abraham Avinu see after Hashem told him to go to Eretz Canaan? ושם נראה לו השם, and Hashem appeared to Abraham over there, להודיעו, to inform him שהיא הארץ אשר הוכיח לשליטו עליה. וידע בו יהודים טובים. He says, Abraham Avinu went to Eretz Canaan, Hashem appeared to him in Eretz Canaan, promised him when he got there all the promises that he promised him before. He says, yes, this is the land that I was speaking about. This is where everything is going to realize itself. So then he asks, למה זה יצא משם? ללכת מצרים מפני זרעפות רעב. So why on earth does Abraham Avinu, because there's a famine, pick up and go, pick up and leave after all the promises? I want to put that into perspective. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, what's the obvious answer to that? What's the simple answer to that? There's a simple answer to why he left.
Because he needs food?
Correct, because there's a famine, he's dying of starvation, and it's very, very difficult, and like we say, אין סומכים על הנס, okay? אין סומכים על הנס. You can't rely on a miracle, and you have to take, normal measures, okay? But I'm saying, I think, first of all, Abraham asks, Hashem has promised this all to him. In other words, if there was anybody else with this promise, wouldn't they have withstood this test? Okay, number one. And number two, I just think like in modern terms, like when the Chalutzim, the pioneers came to Eretz Yisrael at the beginning of the 20th century, it was very difficult there. There was famine, people died of all types of diseases, and people didn't just leave, and people stayed here. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, it's not as if people haven't withstood certain ordeals in Eretz Yisrael, including famine. So it's difficult. Hold on, 1 second there. And then he says, this is what he says, ויעלו לפתוח בשם. You should have trusted Hashem. אשר ציווהו לצאת מארצו שברעב יפדנו ממוות. You should have trusted Hashem that Hashem would save him from famine ברעב. רק הפסוק says, כמו שכתוב, הנה אין השם אל יראיו למייחלים לחסדו, להציל ממוות נפשם ולחיותם ברעב. That's a pasuk. The pasuk says, the eye of Hashem is on those that fear him, for those that wait for his chesed, to save them, mimavet, to save them from death, and to sustain them in a famine. That's a pasuk in Tehillim. So why couldn't Avraham Avinu abide by that pasuk? If not Avraham Avinu, who could? And therefore he says, we didn't get to the Ramban soon, says, וכבר כתב הרמב"ן שאברהם חטא בזה חטא. Okay, the Ramban, we didn't learn the Ramban soon. The Ramban says that Avraham Avinu באמת sinned, and says the Ramban at the end of that paragraph, והוא דעת רחוק מן ההיקש השכלי. He says the opinion of the Ramban is very difficult. He doesn't agree with the Ramban, but he's just basing himself on the Ramban to say that it's very difficult to understand Avraham Avinu's behavior. Why did he do such a thing? Why did he leave? Number one. That's question number one. Question number two of the Avigdor, which is the 13th of his in the book. He says, Asherah Yud Gimel, question number 13. B'ma'amar Abraham Sarah. What Abraham said to Sarah, V'ardu oti v'otach yechayu. They'll kill me and they'll let you live. Imrina achotiach l'man yitavu b'avorech. And so on and so forth. Please say that you're my sister, that good will be done to me for you. Asks Abraham, and listen to his language. He says, U'miya ish ha'ma'aleh, ha'ma'uleh ha'ma'aleh, she'ilcha l'chayim im kalon nimratz kazeh. He says, who is the man of dignity that would choose a life of disgrace, a life of with a moral disgrace, v'yivakesh to'elet, and seek for himself some type of benefit, biyot ishto mezanayim achirim, while his wife literally is sleeping around with other people. He says, what man of dignity offers up his wife's integrity so that he's become wealthy? They're going to give him gifts while you say you're my sister, and who knows what they're going to do with you. And we know that Avraham Avinu says afterwards. We know that he says afterwards that he saw when he says to Paro, and Paro says, why did you do this? So what does he respond? What does Avraham say to Paro after? He says, you know why I did it? Because I saw that there's no yirat Elokim ha'makom hazeh. I saw that there's no fear of God in this place. So that's what the Bible says. Well, if you see there's no fear of God, so what exactly are you doing with your wife? What do you think is going to happen to your wife? What normal person does such a thing? And then he says the following thing. "V'yoter ha'ui haya she'ivchar b'mavet." He says Abraham should have chosen death. "Levilti asot nevala," and not do such a disgusting thing. It's better to die. And like I said, maybe it's just better to turn around, go back to Escalon, and die of starvation. But to put your wife into such danger, it just doesn't make sense. Okay? It's mamash yefshar lavin. And therefore he says as well, gam, as well, gomro, v'otach yechayu. Also when he says, he's just going into a bit of detail in the passage, when Abraham says to Sarai, he says, Imrina chotia, the mani tavli ba'avorech v'chaytana shiba. Sorry, when he talks about the danger of what's going to happen, he says, v'algu oti v'otach yechayu. That's what he's worried about. V'algu oti, he's worried that they're going to kill him. V'otach yechayu, they're going to keep you alive. Why is that a concern? He asks. He says, hu ma'amad kasher. That's very difficult. לפי שירתו לא הייתה לשם יגנו על דבר אשתו, לא שם יחיו אותה, לכן היה לו לומר בלבד, והרגו אותי. He's asking, we can answer that question as well, because why was he concerned about the fact that she would live? He's concerned about the fact that they would kill him. Why does he mention in his concern that he's concerned that she will live? He should be concerned about the fact that they'll kill him. But why mention that she should live? So basically those are the two, as I say, we just read it in the Bible now, I'll have to make it to an extreme, but I think it's very true what he says. He says, that's why I was quite surprised, it's quite a while for you guys to ask that question. Because that's the reality that is very difficult to understand. Okay? Avraham Avinu. I'm saying the first question is a difficult question. Okay, but there's room for considering that Avraham Avinu was scared of the famine. And like you said, it's like insult to Malanes, you can't hide the miracle. But the second question is extremely difficult. How on earth does a man of dignity do such a terrible thing? Most normal people would probably fight or I don't know, give up their lives and try to avoid such a situation. Very difficult to understand, yeah.
This is like on that point, it's like how did Abraham think that would even like remotely make the situation better? Like yes, if he would have like if Sarah would have been taken and like they would have said that he was his wife, like she was his wife, like then like he wouldn't have been killed, but like
What?
like if he had gone and said no, this is my wife, then like had she been taken, like yes, he would have been killed, but like she was like even like regardless, like how is this like a better plan?
Okay, how is this a better plan? Okay, we're going to see. We're going to try and answer that question.